how can the Mavericks do the impossible and beat the Celtics in the finals? And I know what you're thinking. Oh, the Mavericks are in the finals. Oh, they have a good chance. No, they really don't have a good chance against the Celtics team, especially if Porzingis is back. It's not looking good. About 27 or 28, I don't remember the exact number, of the last 30 NBA champions were top 10 in both offensive rating and defensive rating. And the Celtics are top 10 in both. And I think they were one of the only teams this year that was top 10 in both. I think the team that was the second closest was the Thunder. And so you're looking at that, and you're looking at the Mavericks, and you're saying, oh, well, they were the top number one defense after the trade. Yeah, they were a great defense after the trade. They're going to be in the finals. They're an amazing defense. But they've only been a team since about late January, right? They had that continuity since late January. The Celtics have had the continuity for the whole season. They have a huge leg up on the Mavericks because of that. And that's going to make it a lot more difficult for the Mavericks to play against the Celtics team that's gelled so well together over the whole season, being one of the best offensive and defensive teams. You can't tell me that the Mavericks should be favored in this series. But how can they win this series? It's very simple. They're going to have to get Porzingis in foul trouble. They're going to have to get him out of the game because they love to spam lobs and they love to get Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford going. And once they catch a couple lobs down low, that's going to open up the shooters, PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr., because they're going to be so stressed about the lob. Also, Luka and or Kyrie is going to have to go off in every single game that they win. And one of them's probably going to get clamped every game with Drew Holiday and Derek White. I highly doubt that both of them go. We see a 40-40 performance from both of them in this finals. That's probably not going to happen. And so one of them is going to have to go crazy for them to win the games. Because the Celtics role players are the Dallas role players are amazing. They're PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively, they've been great. But the Celtics role players are just a little bit better in my opinion, with Derek White, Drew Holiday, and yes, those are the role players on the Celtics because you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. So the role players are going to have to step up. They've been stepping up. They're going to have to step up massively for the Mavericks to be able to compete with that. And also, we have a sample size with the Celtics in the finals. We've seen them here. How did they lose last time? What the Warriors did is they clamped up JT. JT got clamped in the finals, and they ended up losing in 6, even though they were up 2-1. And that's what the Mavericks are going to have to do here. Jaylen Brown is an amazing player. We just saw him win Eastern Conference Finals MVP. He's great. But can he be the number one option on a championship team? We don't really know, but that's what he was on the Celtics in 2022. He was basically the number one option because of how terrible Tatum was, and they lost. So I think the Mavericks are going to have to clamp Tatum at all. Everything comes down to clamping Tatum. If you clamp up Tatum, you're going to get a better chance having Jaylen Brown trying to beat you than Jason Tatum. Now, I don't really think the Mavericks are going to be able to do this. I think Tatum learned a lot from his last 2 playoff runs, and I think he's going to be able to take advantage and win the finals this year. And my prediction is in 6 games against the Mavericks. But if the Mavericks want any chance, they need to put their best defender on the court, on Tatum, always, and let Jaylen Brown and the other role players try to beat you. And that's, like, me saying that is like, yeah, that can probably happen. Jaylen Brown, the role players on the Celtics, can probably still beat the Mavericks if Tatum's not playing very well. But that's the Mavericks' best chance, is to get Daniel Gafford and Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively going in the lobs, get some kickouts, get some shooters going, and then have one of Luka or Kyrie go off and then clamp Tatum. That is the perfect formula for the Mavericks to win the finals. Now, what the Celtics have to do is a little bit easier. They just have to play their own game. They got 2 stars, kick out Derek White, Drew Holiday threes, get Porzingis going. I mean, it's a lot simpler for the Celtics. They kind of just have to play their brand of basketball, and they're probably going to win the series. But this is going to be a fun series nonetheless. I'm going to keep updating on videos like this talking about it. But if you're a Mavericks fan, you know what you have to do. If you're a Celtics fan, you're feeling good going into this finals. And also the experience, I feel like, matters a little bit more with the Celtics team. I mean, PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively's a rookie. They've never really played in games like that in the finals. And then I think every single player on the Celtics, besides maybe Porzingis, has had a high-level finals game. I mean, obviously not like Luke Cornett and stuff like that, but Jason Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday has a ring, Jaylen Brown. I mean, the experience that they've been there before. So I feel like this is the Celtics' year, and let's talk about it in the comments.